All right, y'all. So, my best advice, this is specifically for the brothers out there. My best advice for you on how to handle rejection, right? Because it's a thing. Rejection is a thing, and I didn't realize how much of a thing it was, and until I just start paying attention to a lot what's going on in terms of people reacting violently, right? Reacting violently when rejected, right? I want to say this, you fellas, you got to be so solid in yourself. You got to develop a solidity. You got to have some substance within who you are as a man, right? You got to develop some solidity. You got to have some substance. You got to have some value within who you are as a man. You have to have an honest estimation of your worth as a man before anything. Before you leave your house, you got to know who you are. Every morning, you got to know who you are, what you where you stand, what you stand on. Develop that substance, develop that internal fortitude, right? You got to develop that intestinal fortitude, right? And understand this is also very important. Like when somebody rejects you, whether it's employment, you're rejected by not getting that job, you're rejected by relationships. Whenever you are rejected, always remember this, right? Because I've been rejected so much in so many different aspects of life. It's not even funny. But you got to know this. Rejection, right, is simply the universe telling you that this is not for you. That's all rejection is, fellas. If a lady rejects you, if your girl rejects you, if your girl leaves you for the next one, whatever form rejection shows up in, you just gotta understand that rejection is just the universe telling you this is not for you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like a lot of us take rejection. Here's the thing. Let me show you the dark side. What get a lot of us. When you get rejected, right? With that rejection, 2 seconds after, 2 minutes later, whatever the time duration is, after you're rejected, you internalize it. You feel inferior. You start feeling shitty about your life. You feel disgusted about yourself. You feel less than. You feel emasculated. You feel weak. You know what I'm saying? You feel like you're not good enough. Why was not good enough? You know what I'm saying? You start like all these feelings, and there's a cascading of other feelings, right? Right. What can I do to prove my worth? All right. Maybe if I do this, I'll show them, or I'll show them. I'll go out and work really, really hard and make a whole lot of money, and I'll show them, look, I'm value. I'm high value man. A lot of people hide. Another thing, a lot of people hide their insecurities, or their coping mechanism with rejection is to go out and become the biggest, baddest, richest guy in the neighborhood. I'll show her. I'll go out and I'll rob this bank, or I'll sell this drugs, or I'll get a legitimate job and make a whole lot of money. It doesn't necessarily mean they do criminal activity or negative things. It's just, you have to prove your worth to somebody else because they rejected you. You use that as motivation to go out and conquer the world, to prove to them that, hey, look, I have value. Look, that is, that's praiseworthy. I'm not going to say that's a bad thing, because there's nothing wrong with taking a negative and turning it into a positive. And if you can do that, if you have the wherewithal to do that, kudos to you. I'm an advocate of that. I've done that all my life. You know what I'm saying? People count me out. I said, all right, you know what? I'm going to go out and I'm going to show the world I can be somebody, whatever. That's not necessarily bad. But if you're doing that solely to prove your worth to a woman, to prove your worth to friends, to whatever, if you're doing that because you want to prove your value to someone else, that you're a sad basket case. You need to go see a head doctor and a shrink. You're a sad basket head case. You need a head shrink, doctor, head, right? Head shrink doctor, a doctor that shrinks your head. Like, you're sick. If that's what if you're doing that to prove to somebody, hey, look, I have worth, I have value. Because what you're saying to that person is, one, you can manipulate me. Two, you're pulling my strings. And three, my worth to you is solely based off materialism. You see how that works? So never try to prove your worth to anybody if they reject you. If they reject you, it's simply the universe, or we can say God, saying, look, this is not what I want for you. You know what I'm saying? This is not the area that I need you in. This is not the position that I want for you. This is not the job, the office that I want for you. This is not the relationship, the woman that I want for you. And we have to be able to understand and be okay with that. Like, life goes on. You know what I'm saying? Life is a beautiful, ugly road, right? It's beautiful with a lot of ugly twists and turns in it, but it's beautiful nonetheless. And like, you know, it's like I said, it ain't worth becoming violent, throwing your life away, taking somebody else's life, right? It ain't worth it, because one thing I have learned and I've come to see is that if somebody rejects you, and you know in your heart you're a good person, you're a righteous person, you always gonna win. I've come to see that. Like, you will win in the long haul if you stay the course, stay true to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Stand 10 toes down on whatever you stand on, your code, your ethics, your morals, your principles, your scruples, and like, understand that, listen, when somebody rejects you, don't internalize it. And you're going to feel those feelings, but understand those feelings are normal. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? And embrace those feelings. Like, embrace the pain of rejection. Like, I lean into that shit. Like, I eat rejection for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There is no, like, again, maybe it's because I'm a salesman and I've been in sales for damn near all my life, right? I'm always selling, right? And I'm in one of the toughest sales business there is right now, which is Wall Street, which is, you know, just calling people and raising money for stocks. Like, that's one of the toughest. I've done a lot of sales. I've been in other areas of sales, but this is, I can say, by far the toughest that I've ever been in. And I've been in it for 15 years. And one thing I've learned is to, you can reject me all day. It won't have an impact on me. Like, you could tell me no a million times, and I'll just pick up I literally instantly after you tell me no and hang up on me, I pick up the phone and call the next person like nothing, like without skipping a beat. Like, nothing has changed. I get on the phone after somebody tells me no, rejects me, hangs up on me. I'll get on the phone with somebody jovial, energetic, like I just closed a multi-million-dollar deal. That's the energy I bring to the next phone call. Right? I could be walking on the street, a woman tells me no, and I will step to the next woman with, like, the last 10 women told me yes. Because I've come to understand that it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Like, we take ourselves way too serious. We take life and other people's actions and reactions and deeds and whatever way too serious. It ain't none of it that serious, folks. Ain't none of it that serious. I believe it was Lauryn Hill that had a song that says nothing really matters. And that song, when I was younger, you know, that song came out probably back in the 90s. I was young. I was probably in high school. But, you know, if as a grown man today, I'm 43 in about 2 weeks or so. My birthday's this month. I'm gonna be 43. I look at that song with through a whole different lens. Like, that song has so much in it. When you unpack it and unwrap it, nothing really matters. And that is so true. Nothing really matters. Why? Because in the end, we all die. In the end, everything fades away. In the end, the news cycle changes. What's news today is forgotten tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, what someone did to you now, you know, today, 5 days, 5 years, 5 months from now it will be a thing of a forgotten memory, right? Like, nothing really matters. Nothing matters. And if you can understand the wisdom in that and still go out and understand you still got to build and make your life and create and do all the, work all your magic, you'll be so several steps ahead in life. Again, how to handle rejection, folks, is this: it doesn't matter. It's not you. Sometimes I tell myself it's not me, it's them. Like, I do that all the time. You got to have little mental tactics, little tactical advantages you use. When people when I come across rejection, one of my defense mechanisms is, look, it ain't me, it's y'all. I don't say that, but I think that. It ain't me, it's them. You know what I'm saying? Tell yourself what you got to tell yourself. If you got to lie to yourself long enough till it becomes your truth. Because it really doesn't matter. If your lie is, it ain't me, it's them. It ain't me, it's them. It ain't me, it's them. Listen, if that's what you got to tell yourself to prevent you from killing somebody or from hurting yourself or from, sitting at the bar getting drunk, then that's fine. You know what I'm saying? That's a tactical advantage that you can use to live through that, whatever you got to live through. Again, provided you're one of those desperate persons who's ready to off yourself because somebody rejected you. You got to tell yourself it ain't me, it's them. And then when you become mature enough, here's where I want to give you some wisdom. When you mature, when you grow from eating Gerber baby food to strong meat, and from drinking milk to strong substance or whatever, then you got to tell yourself the truth. If it's you got to be honest with yourself. Because that took me a while to come into. And I realized when it was me. And I started realizing, it's me. What am I doing wrong? You know what I'm saying? What have I done wrong? Like, I actually started seeing a therapist. I went to a head doctor a few times, and I see my head doctor. And that head doctor helped me find out why I made some of the decisions I made. You know what I'm saying? What was the root cause? What's the motive? What's the impetus, the driving force behind the decisions I make? Why I do what I do? And when you can flush all of that out, that frees you up to maneuver, and operate on a different wavelength. It allows you to move differently, make smarter, better choices, better decisions, and you get better outcomes in your life. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to take accountability, to take responsibility. That when it's you, own it. Own it. You're a fuck up. Own it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be afraid to own your mess. Lean into your era of judgment. You know what I'm saying? Lean into your mistakes. Because mistakes are just teachable moments. Lean into them. Own it. Take ownership. You know what I'm saying? And make adjustments. And you'll get better and different outcomes. It's called permutations. You know what I'm saying? Don't let rejection break y'all. Till next time. Peace.